Hello, and welcome. My name is NJD, and welcome to my channel. I love saying that because it's so irritating. I have no idea why YouTubers say that, by the way. No idea at all. Ladies, man, you look fantastic, almost as much as I do. Really happy that you could make it. Thank you so much for joining me. I know that it is so early in the morning and it's a public holiday, and you should be sleeping. Everybody but Leanne, but that's another story for another day. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for giving me your time and sacrificing an hour and a half for the guys that are watching. So we have a whole four people right now. A whole four, huh? Four people, right? But they will stream in. We are a bit late. Apologies to those that are watching. Ladies, thank you, thank you, thank you. So
Thank you for having us.
this is the beginning. Thank you, thank you. So this is our first session. That's the first thing I want to just explain to you. I am going to try and lure you back in the next few months to do this again. This is a flagship event. It's called You Are the Masterpiece. Reason why it is called You Are the Masterpiece is it is something that is very close to my heart. I think it is important in this day and age that you have an identity and accept that identity and value who you are. Because I feel like there are so many things and we are so many people, and society is making you be this thing, whether it is telling you how to dress or how to look or whatever the case may be. But I feel like we just have so much going against us. So for me, this is a series, guys. It'll be ongoing. God willing, every 2 months we will have a session with different types of people. But what we will be driving home each and every single time is that you are the masterpiece, whatever version of that masterpiece is. And the point is, masterpieces get damaged, masterpieces get broken, masterpieces get lost. Masterpieces are worked on by someone, and that someone, according to me, is God. And it is so important that every now and again we just touch base and remember who He had ordained us to be. So the topics that you ladies are going to be speaking on are basically talking to that masterpiece that I want to be, that you want to be, that I believe everyone should be, where I'm not trying to be like Bahumi or Litaletu or Leslie or Leanne or Bongi, where I need to remember that God made me Entle, and that is the only person I should and can be, and that is where my success plan lies, in being me, the masterpiece. All right. So let me welcome our beautiful guests. And guys, I know you're watching and you're like, how can people be so beautiful at 10 in the morning? It is possible. It is very possible. All right. So to my right is that way. Yes, that way. There's my right. We have Leanne Hendry. She is the principal of Camel Properties, a property management agency that's based in Johannesburg. She is an entrepreneur. She's a businesswoman. She's a mom. She's a wife. She is a fantastic human being, very philanthropic. She's very well learned. And I promise you, she is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. She's like a computer box. It's actually quite worrying. So when you are talking to her, remember what you said to her yesterday, because she's going to bring it up as is. She does not forget anything that she reads. She is, to me, on the likes of a Sheldon. It's just that she's not, what is that condition that Sheldon has? That condition. That's what she doesn't have. But she is really, really, really brilliant. Thank you. He is autistic. She is not. So I keep saying that she needs to go get herself tested, because seriously, the brain on her is just mind blowing. So Leanne, hi.
Morning, Ainsley. Morning, guys. Thank you so much. I think that was rather an interesting introduction to who I am, but thank you so much. Your compliments are appreciated, and we shall take them up at a little bit of a later stage. Much to live up to. Much to live up to.
I think you're doing a good job. I think we're doing a good job. I wanted to ask you something. Um, Outside of you being here because I forced you to be here, what are you hoping to give back today? What are you hoping to give back? What are you hoping that people get out of what you're going to be sharing?
I think, as everybody's seen, my topic this morning is on failure, and what I'm hoping for people to actually get out of this is that the narrative needs to change. Failure narrative needs to change. So let's see where we
Okay.
go with that.
Okay, lovely. I'm really excited to hear. And guys, just so you know, I haven't heard any of the speeches. Initially, I wanted us to have a dry run, but then I thought I'm going to steal from myself. I also want to have a full-on experience with everyone that is watching today. So thank you so much, Leanne. I'm really excited to hear what you have to say. I learn from you every day, so I'm excited. I really am. Then
So
I'd
likewise.
like to introduce. Thank you, thank you. I'd like to introduce Miss Litaletu Mchabe, our attorney slash chef. That is a very exciting story. I'm not even going to go into it right now, but she's such a phenomenal woman. She's a sister of mine. Yes, we are all pretty at home, extremely. You know, I value her journey. I value her journey so much. In the realities, DNA wise, if people had to check this out, we have a sister that we share. And the sister made me fall in love with Lita Letu so much. You know, Lita Letu has changed careers, but she's also dabbling between the both of them at the same time. As I've mentioned, she's an attorney. I hope I'm saying the right thing. And she's a chef, qualified on both fronts. Lita is a partner at the firm that she's at. She is really just mind blowing. She really is mind blowing. You know, she's worked so hard, and I love the fact that she's grounded in her ways. She's very grounded as a young person, which is why I wanted her to come on here, because I feel like we are so, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not expectant, but we feel entitled as young people, which is really what is unfortunate in this day and age, is we just feel like everyone should be giving us everything, and we fail to work, and we fail to push, and we fail to fail, you know. So Lisa Letu, welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Edley. Thank you very much.
So tell us, same question I asked Leanne. What are you hoping that people are going to get out of your experience and what you're going to share today?
I hope that people learn that it's okay to change your mind. Like you're not one thing. There's a reason your life is as long as it is, and that the seasons you're in are very different, right? But also that if you change your mind, it's totally okay. You don't have to stick to one plan that you had when you were 18. You can wake up at 35 and decide, actually, no, this is not what I want to do anymore. So yeah, that's my thing.
Okay,
It's okay.
sorry, I had to vanish.
No, it's all right.
Yes, you know.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the misconception that we have as people is I could come from a very disadvantaged background, but that's not my narrative. As Leanne was saying, that is not who I am. That's not where I come from. So I love that. I love what you've said. All right. Next up, we have a very beautiful lady with a lovely accent. And I'm hoping during the course of the live that I don't start speaking like her, because these things happen. They do. This is Leslie Dalton Neshehe. She is a lovely woman. Such a big heart, such a big heart. And if you listen to my intros, every woman on here has got something in common with the one next to them. All right. So Leslie is a qualified psychologist. Leslie owns an entertainment agency. Leslie is a mom. Leslie, can I say it, Leslie, if you don't mind?
Yes, you can.
Leslie's a widow recently too. It's been less than a month, in fact. So I really am grateful that she was able to join us and doesn't mind coming on here and putting all of her stuff aside. That's one thing I've always loved about her, is she has lived quite a challenging life, but she's always out and about, wanting to impart and wanting to do good and wanting to give of herself despite what she's actually going through. So Leslie, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you, Intle. That's so sweet.
So tell me, Leslie, what are you hoping to get out of the session? So I've been asking everyone what they are hoping to leave with the people that are watching. What are you hoping to get out of the session?
What I want women, well, actually everyone, but especially women, to realize is that it's okay to not be okay, as weird as that sounds. And as we learn to accept ourselves no matter what is going on, And that is the beginning of healing for ourselves and for women and for people in general. So we need to learn to love ourselves no matter where we are in our journey. So if I can
Sure,
instill
sure.
and help people to understand that, then I'm going to be very, very happy.
And what is Leslie hoping to get out of the session? What do you want to leave with?
You know what? I think as we, I want to say, preach and teach things, we're also preaching and teaching to ourselves. And as we also help others to heal, we also heal. So I'm hoping that I'm going to preach and teach to myself and also heal as I even speak to you ladies today.
Okay, I love that. Well, we hope the
Mm.
same for you as well. We're standing in agreement. We're standing in agreement.
Thank
Then
you.
next up we have Dr. Thanks, Leslie. We have Dr. Bongiwe Msimang. Now she is, I think, the shyest of the lot. It's very funny for me. I laughed at her actually this morning. I was in stitches, and you know she's such an interesting person. She obviously qualified in the medical field as a doctor. She's then gone out and is doing her own thing under Zuri. It's Zuri Aesthetics.
That's
Dr.
correct.
B.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now that on its own was not enough. She figured, okay, let me qualify as a doctor, then let me open up my own practice and be extremely successful in it. And then let me also be a model. She said I mustn't say that, but I'm saying it because it's my life. So yeah, what are you gonna do about that? I'm really so proud of her. She actually was really hesitant to go out into the market. And I was telling her, Bongiwe is stunning. She really plays herself down. She's beautiful, has this amazing body, has a lovely personality, and these dimples I want to murder her for because my dimples are there, not here where I want them. But all is well. I'm hoping she'll do something about it, and I don't know how, kind of help me with at least one on the face. On the
Okay.
face. Bongiwe, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. And I know you were extremely hesitant as well. And I need to tell you ladies something. One of the reasons you are here is because I believe in what you do. I believe in who you are. And with all of me, this is the best I can give you. But I really want success for you in every which way possible. So this is my little way of saying, you know what? I think you are freaking amazing. I really do. Anyway, I want to understand why you decided to join. What was
Thank you
the
for
reason
having
behind
me.
you being here?
I think after our conversations, I realized that I think I may have something to contribute, in terms of this life and possibly help other people. And my topic is basically on purpose. And I think I resonated with that the most because of my journey, and becoming a doctor and the transitions that I've gone through, and also my spirituality, because it's also a part of me, a great deal part of me, a lot of transitions, So I'm hoping to transmit a message to people that your purpose in life has to be really coming from an internal place. It really is a dream and a God-given vision that I believe God has placed within you, and which you just need to execute while you're here on earth. And I'm hoping that I get to share my journey and also just learn about other things as well on this life.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then lastly, but certainly not least, Miss B, Bahumi Mshongo. Like, I put you there with Leslie Dalton Neshehe right now because I know that you are dealing with so much. You are dealing with so much. So I'm really grateful that you have availed yourself. Honestly, I know we were even talking last night and things were touch and go still. So thank you. I don't take it lightly what's happening around you right now. I don't take lightly what you've had to sacrifice to be here for the next hour and a bit. Thank you. Thank you, Bahumi. Thank you so much.
I'm honored to be here. Honestly, I think it doesn't even feel like a sacrifice. If anything, it just feels like a it's gonna sound really corny, but like a calling, like a duty, if that makes sense. But like one that I really, really like. I'm just really drawn to, as well. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to learn from everyone. I actually, like, the moment you guys started talking, I'm like, I need to grab my notepad, because it seemed like the topics that you guys are going to discuss are just like, you know, like I know they're going to speak to me definitely. So I'm just like, I'm going to be taking notes myself. So thank you so much. I'm very honored to be here.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you. You know, I must just be honest. So these topics came about during prayer. And it was things I knew that I needed strengthening on, that I needed help with, that I needed reminders of. And I thought to myself, you know, sometimes you are so busy teaching other people that you forget to step back and feed yourself as well. So I thought to myself, who are really amazing women that I know would change lives, that I would actually want to learn from, that I am learning from, indirectly or directly, and you guys are, I think, the perfect picks. I really am happy that you could join us. So let's get going. We've literally got an hour. We might push 10 minutes over, if you ladies will allow us. We're going to start off with Ulita Letumchabe. She's going to introduce her topic. Lita, if you make your 15 minutes, great. If you don't, it's okay. We are excited to hear what you have to say. So please go for it. Go for it.
All right, thank you so much, Aintley. Hi, guys. So, as Aintley said, I am Lisa Letumchabe. Today, we're talking about taking a different direction. And I'm grateful to Aintley that she didn't give me talking points, and she just said to me, speak from the heart, because this is something that I'm really strongly believe that, you know, it's okay to take a different direction in life, especially because of the career choices that I've made and what I'm currently doing in my life. So just briefly, so I'm from the Eastern Cape, Mthatha. I come from a very large family. People who know my family know we are very large. And I come from a very close-knit family as well. I studied my high school in Grahamstown. I also qualified my LLB from the University of Witwatersrand. I then from there did my articles, did the whole shebang, and became an admitted attorney in the year 2016, if I'm not mistaken. I then took a career break after practicing as an admitted attorney to pursue a career in being a chef. So when that transition happened, a lot of people were questioning whether or not I'm making the right decision. They viewed it as if I am quitting, that I am not pursuing my law qualification to the fullest extent. Obviously, being a chef doesn't have as much financial gain in the beginning as one would expect, right? But I sort of felt like I had a calling to actually learn how to cook properly. I've always loved cooking, right? It's always been something I've always done, even from a very young age, right? But as the years progressed and as I continued doing my LLB at Wits, I had the strong urge and sudden feeling to pursue this cooking thing. It was very contentious at home. My father is also in the legal field, so he was very apprehensive about it. He didn't understand it. My mom was like, fine, finish this first, don't drop everything. And I think in my LLB, my final year, with a friend of mine, and I nearly dropped out. I don't think my parents know this. I nearly dropped out of my LLB at Wits. I think I had like a month left, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be pretending I'm enjoying what I'm doing when I know I should be doing something else, right? I remember that one friend of mine, he said to me, you know what, Madonna, and as much as you have this urge, right, that you want to quit, nah, you're going to hate yourself so much more when you want to come back and things are not aligning for you to finish this. And we always had this thing about starting and finishing things. Like my dad likes saying first things first, but me and my friends had this thing of we finish what we started, right? And he was like, but you need to finish this. Whatever you decide to do afterwards, you know you've ticked this one box, and if you never come back to it, that's okay, you know. And those words actually kept me going. Even when I didn't want to do my articles, even when I didn't want to write my board exam, you know, I knew that I had to finish this journey so that I can fully make myself in what I want to eventually do, which was to be a chef, right? So 2017 came. I remember I wrote my boss a resignation letter, which was very shocking, that I'm actually resigning and I'm going back to chef school full time. And I think the shock for most people was how these two worlds are very different. How one is very, I'm going to say, stimulates the intellect, and the other one is more of a creative side, and how the two can actually merge together. And I remember constantly, one of my constant prayers when I was starting this journey of doing these two careers was like, Lord, help me figure out how these two things are going to align. Help me figure out how I'm going to make this work, right? And I mean, there's a lot of anxiety on my part because I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I knew like as my life progressed, things are going to align to allow me to do both careers, and also in the way I've always envisioned, right? Because when I left law, one of the things I told myself was that if I'm coming back into the law space, it needs to be terms. I need to be able to control my time. I need to be able to say yes to certain things without feeling like I need to do them because of money. But I'm saying this is the kind of work I really want to do, and also allow me the opportunity to actually focus on cooking, right? So I went to chef school. It wasn't one of the best experiences of my life. I have never done something like that ever. I don't think I could explain it well enough for people to understand. Even when I try and explain it in my home tongue, it still doesn't explain how alive I became. I was so alive. I was so alert. And I've never really been one to want to excel in school. I've always been like, if I pass, I pass, and that's it. And for the first time in my life, I found myself wanting to propel like higher. And I remember telling one of the chefs there that, chef, like I'm planning to be one of your top students here. I'm not here, not because I think I am the most clever person here, but because I really love what I'm doing. Lo and behold, I graduated top 2 of my class with merit. And after that, I then dabbled a bit in working in the chefing space. I was a private chef for the Belgium ambassador. I also worked at my alma mater for a bit because they needed help with some chefs there. And then now, currently, as Ainsley said earlier on, I'm currently back in the law space. I am also a partner, well, now director at the law firm I'm working at, and I work in the conveyancing and litigation space. And my free time, which is my weekends, generally I am cooking. That I hope you guys can still see me. I am cooking, and then I have something I call Braai Fridays. So every Friday, I'm literally lighting up the fire. I'm doing braai platters for people. Because of lockdown in Gauteng, anyways, people couldn't really use their space you call clubhouses to go braai and whatever, and there was a need for that at that point in time. So I've become a braai lady, so to say, on Fridays. But I also do private events. I also do small to medium-sized catering services. So what do I want people to learn from what I've just said in a very long, wild-winded way is that it's okay to have a multifaceted life, right? And when you're convicted about something, and I'm someone who moves by conviction. I don't move if I'm not convicted by something. And when you move with conviction, right, you're almost certain that things are going to work out, even when in that moment, when you're convicted, you can't see it, right? We're very quick to want to know how things are going to unfold. How is this going to happen? And how is that going to affect us? But that almost holds us back from actually taking the decision. Because when I went to chef school, I had no money for it. I couldn't understand how I'm going to pay that bill. All I had was savings I had from the 2 years of me working as a full-time attorney. Because as a candidate attorney, you don't even earn that much, right? But as soon as I said yes to that decision of me pursuing something else, things sort of fell into place. Suddenly, there was provision for everything I needed. And not once in that 18 months, because that's how long my course was, not once in that 18 months did I ever need or lack. You know, I feel like God just kept providing, be it my mom randomly checking me in and sending me money for a full tank, be it my sister, I stayed with one of my sisters, be it my sister offering to take care of the house chores because I was so tired, be it my younger brother calling in and checking in how school is going. Like there was always a support system. There were always ways people showing up in my life and letting me know that, you know, you're not alone in this. It is scary. You might not know what or how it's going to turn out, but, you know, we're here. You know, people would avail themselves. And I think that's the most important thing, is that people often want to impose their own ideologies or impose their own shortcomings on you, in that way, because they've heard that this doesn't work or this didn't work out for that person, they think it's not going to work out for you, you know. But there's this song that's saying, was a verse, I think it's a verse that says that you're called for such a time as this. I think it is a song. It's called The Anthem, where it says you're called for such a time as this. And I think that time when I was doing that was important for me and for the journey I'm on right now, for God to use me as a symbol of faith, you know, that when you press on and hold on to the things that you hold dear in your heart and the desires that you have, God makes a way for you. You know, he doesn't forget the desires of your heart because you've decided to take a different tangent. And he has a way of reminding you of those dreams that you've long forgotten, you know. And for me, my journey was very much about faith. It was a faithful journey. Every step I took, I think God ordained it. And where I am right now, I think it's not by mistake that I'm doing both law and cooking. And I think often we hear the phrase that representation matters. And I really feel like my life is a representation for those coming after us, that you don't have to be one thing for you to make a difference. Or not necessarily even a difference, but for you to feel fulfilled in life. You know, our parents come from a generation where they start one job and they work for the rest of their lives until they retire. You know, our parents will never understand that in this day and age, we have the opportunity to be multifaceted. One of my favorite coaches, Dr. Ngawa, like calls it a portfolio life, right? And that is what I'm aspiring towards, is to live a portfolio life where there are multiple things that you're doing that bring you joy in different ways. And I often say to people, like, law stimulates my mind, cooking stimulates my creativity, right? And there are other things along the way that I'm dabbling in that are invoking different feelings. And that is okay. You don't have to be in that one boring office job. And one thing I hope what I've said today is going to give some people the nudge to actually jump and hopefully land where you're supposed to land, you know. Because sometimes what delays us is looking back and thinking, what if I jump and it doesn't work out? What if I jump and it doesn't work out? And so what if it doesn't work out? Get up, climb back up again and figure it out, you know. But I've been very fortunate to be in a space where now in my legal career, I've been very fortunate to be in a space where I work with people who understand my passion for both, and that I work equally hard to ensure that things are working well, and also that I want to be as good as a chef as possible, you know, because one way or another, I think my story is going to inspire one or two other people to realize that I don't have to just be one thing, and I can always change my mind at any point in time, that I don't want to do these things at the same time. I just want to focus on the one, and that is okay, you know. I don't want women to ever feel that you need to be boxed in, and, you know, because our mothers spent years being boxed in. We, at our generation, we're still being boxed in as well. But like, I feel like the time has come for us to actually break barriers and do things that represent us and the way we want our children coming up after us to see us. Thank you, guys. That's what I have to share for today.
That was absolutely amazing. And I don't know, Lita, if you could see the comments. There are so many.
Angie, are you still there?
Uh-oh.
Is she still there? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think she's frozen a bit. I think she's frozen, but I think she was making notes at your comments, at the comments in the comment section.
Okay.
That was a redundant statement, but yeah, she was pretty much just talking about how like literally been blowing up the chat.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Did
And
you
then we
did you
lost
see
you
any
there.
of the comments, Lita?
I was trying to focus on what I'm saying so that I don't lose my thought thread. So
Okay, I'm going to play some, but first I need to show off because my mom, I have a few moms. My mother in love, the mother to my very sexy, very lots of other things husband is online as well. She's also thrown a comment. So this was her first one. Did you guys see that?
oh, thank you so
Yes.
much, Mama. Thank you very much.
There we go. And then this was for everybody on the panel. Happy Women's Day. Thanks, Ma.
Thank
Happy
you,
Women's
Mom.
Day to you too. There are so many. There's a Sihle Sigwela who has been throwing multiple comments your way, Lita. I don't know if you know
Oh, thank
Sihle.
you, CJ. Thank you very much.
I'm going to
Thank you so much.
throw just as we go. You know, you said a lot of very interesting things as you were speaking, and I think what I loved is when you were talking about it being okay to fail, about it being okay to make a mistake, about it being okay not to work out, even if that was your plan, because obviously no one plans to fail, but most of the time is we fail to plan. You know what I mean? There are so many messages, Lita. I think I'm gonna share them with you afterwards. Otherwise, we're not gonna move at all.
I
Leanne
understand.
Henry, are you prepared? Are you ready to blow our minds? I'm so ready.
You're so
Like I'm
ready.
ready. Lita, thank you so much. Um, I'm not gonna steal too much off of your speech, but I really related because if you know me and you know me well, you will realize that my career has done this on its own. You know, I started doing one thing most people don't know, that I started off as a paramedic and I practiced as a paramedic. And then it just got too much psychologically. And then all of a sudden, literally while I was doing my 1,000 hours to advance to the next level, I was then found by someone that owns an advertising agency. And then life's just changed totally. You know, I did a full 360, but like, thank you, you know, thank you so much. I think it's important that young and old notice that it is okay to change direction, because sometimes indeed you get into something with a plan that this is sustainable, this is what makes sense for the market right now, only to find that it's not what's in your heart. And it's so important to do what you love, because giving someone else your time for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day without getting any satisfaction out of it is draining. It's daunting. And you end up being the toxic person in that platform, in that office, in that organization, simply because you are not doing what you love. You are doing what's paying the bills, which is a very, very dangerous thing. So I'd like to hand the floor over to Miss Leanne Hendry. Hope she is ready. Dr. B, I'm not sure what's happening. Is it my internet that's glitching or what's going on? Over to you.
Thanks so much, Litle. Morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us, and Intle for having us today to share so many vastly different topics, but one and each that interleads directly into the other. Lisa, such a fantastic opening introduction on who you are and where you've been, and such a remarkable young woman. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. As Intle had said, my name's Leanne Hendry. I own a real estate company based out in Johannesburg South. Been involved in the company quite a number of years, and yeah, changing direction, changing focus, being one thing one minute, being something else another minute. You have these challenges and trials and tribulations that come your way. But before I officially start, I just want to read something through to you, and you may all well know this very well. It's called The Invitation by Orion Mountain Dreamer. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you've touched the center of your own sorrow, if you had opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wilderness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes, without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty every day. And if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and to know what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in those empty moments. Incredible, incredible words. It's okay to fail repeatedly, but contemplating the topic I've chosen today and the impact that repeated failures have had on each of our lives, I considered so many various contexts of which I could draw reference from for today. Whether it's work life, failed entrepreneurial projects, home life and failed relationships, or even with reference specifically to today, failed medical interventions, our responses to the COVID pandemic, or failed political and social interventions into gender-based violence. There's so many, the list just grows and grows. But as I've mentioned at the beginning, I realized that the narrative needed to change. Simple explanation of changing a narrative means to change the framework within which events or failures are perceived and interpreted. And the reason for me reading the invitation as my opening introduction this morning, I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. Sure, there's so many questions that pop up at this point in time, but regardless of those cliches, our reaction to that failure is either one of a learning opportunity, or it can be our greatest limitation to truly living an intimate and full life and achieving our full potential or purpose in this life. To learn from those failures, we must be willing to make mistakes. And we have to own those mistakes. Wow, and so many mistakes in our lives, you can look back, but do you actually recognize them? Do you actually own them? And are you willing to make more mistakes? And I suppose that goes back to your terms of reference and those formative years in your life. And a question that I could ask you is, how deeply rooted is your fear of the shame of failure? You will probably recognize a lot of what I have to say if you've actually read through this invitation. And one of our biggest challenges really is our refusal and our refusing to acknowledge how often our failure is almost an attempt to avoid that feeling of shame, the paralysis, the inhibition within it. But if you cannot live with failure, you're going to limit your life. You're going to limit the intimacy in your life, the fullness of which your life is, that purpose of which you were put on this earth to fulfill. What happens if I asked you to tell me a story of your life? A story of failure, of a mistake. But I asked you the question, don't just tell me the story. Tell me that story compassionately. Tell me the story of who you were when you actually made that mistake. But be ruthlessly honest. And gently accept who you were when there's at that specific time in your life. Could you do that? Would you do that? The question is, would your perception of that failure or that mistake change? Would you continue to try and hide that mistake and that feeling of shame? Because the further you hide it, it gets buried deeper and deeper within you, and is so far within you that you could never actually move from it. You could never actually learn from it. So changing that narrative is changing that failure to a learning opportunity. Inke said it right in the beginning. If we don't want to change, we are on a path of failure. We have to plan to move forward. But if we fail to plan, we're not going to move forward. But what is that perception within us? Remember, shame releases its grip when we accept it and we take responsibility for our mistakes. We own up. It can be our ally. It can point to things that we haven't accepted, and it can guide us in the mistakes that we've have not been able to acknowledge. Avoidance can make it easier to accept. We don't have to acknowledge anything. But doesn't it limit your growth? Doesn't it limit your progress to do better, to learn more, to achieve more, to love deeply and compassionately? You have to remember that forgiveness takes time. Learning takes time. Failing can be a momentary thing. But so much can change if you take what you have seen. You're willing to take that chance and make that mistake and accept it and learn from it. Accepting our failure means accepting, amongst others, the hurts possibly that we've caused others, maybe to ourselves. But it enables us to love ourselves, accept ourselves, be ourselves. So when you fail, learn. Love yourself through it. And know that your reaction completely determines the outcome of that failure. You can be so lost within it, or you can grow and move from it and fulfill the purpose, whatever that purpose may be. Just a short message from me today. But I hope that the narrative in terms of failure has changed for you. Thanks so much, Enhle. And you're still on mute, Enhle.
Thank goodness I'm pretty, because the things I do sometimes. Leanne, sure. Sure. I was not ready for that. I mean, I know you are amazing. I know that I don't doubt. Sure. That took me somewhere. I don't know about the rest of you ladies. That absolutely took me somewhere. Sure.
And let me
Sure.
be honest
Yeah.
with you, Ezra. I think, from all of us, all of our perspectives, and I know I'm talking for myself here, but certainly from the panel, just listening to what Lita had to say when she started off, is that by preparing these topics for your audience out there, that unfortunately we can't see and interact with at this point in time, but it's if we just reach one person to say it's okay to change, to say it's okay to fail, and what all of these topics are that we're going to be going through today, we've achieved something fantastic today. And, it's just one simple little message and bits and pieces that we've taken from our journey in life, and the stories that we've read and the books that we've consulted. And it's just so fantastic that you actually make it yours. And that's what I want to do. I want this message to be made for me, because that's what I needed to hear today. So thanks. Thank you for that opportunity.
Sure. I feel like I could just go somewhere and keep dead quiet, and just go back to everything that you've said and just let it sink in. It was so deep, and there was so much depth and so many lessons. I really, I don't want to say too much, because then I don't want to take away from it, and I don't want to taint the powerful message that you've left from what you read to what you spoke of. And the little bit that I know about your life, I know that was coming from your heart. I have a sure, but it really was mind shifting. It was altering, and and I'm hoping you were all consuming it at the level that it was meant to be consumed, where you understand that this is supposed to shape every other decision that you are making as soon as you get up from this live, which is only at 11:30, by the way. But as soon as you get up from the live, only then, must you then start thinking about what was said. How do I think about the failures? How did I get there? What am I going to do going forward to ensure that I don't get there, or I don't do it again, that I don't have the same outcome? So, Leanne, that was fantastic. I just want to go through some of the comments. This is Lebogang Ramagaga, Lebo Gangster. She has been following me, I think, for 12 years now. And I got an opportunity to meet her last year, which was absolutely fantastic. Lebo, thank you so much for always interacting. Her comment is, yo. Now, Leanne, when a Black person says yo, like, this is serious. She's like, yo, Leanne hit deep. Thank you. Thank you, Lebo. Thank you always. You are such a source of support. Lebo's that person that I know that even if I post or I share or I say I'm doing something, she will pitch up. She's that one person, without a shadow of a doubt, I know was going to pitch up. So I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lebo. Do you ladies have any feedback for either Lita or for Leanne? Is there anything you'd like to say, you'd like to comment? This is your session as well.
It was just beautiful what you ladies said, and it's so true. And thank you for saying those things, because it can make such a difference for all of us if we can really take it in, which I think a lot of people are taking this in.
I must say that I am quite inspired by the two of you ladies. I resonate deeply with both of you, with the failure talk as well as Lita's talk. I really feel like you speak on my behalf, and thank you for that. It was really informative and really deep, and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I still need to digest it. I think I just need to digest for a second. Sure. But thank you, Leanne, so much. Bahumi, do you mind if I put you on the spot? Do you mind going next?
Yeah, no, of course not.
Okay,
I mean,
awesome.
I don't mind
like you had
on
a
the
choice
spot.
anyway.
We can go for it.
I was just gonna blast your face anyway and be like, boom, there you go. Some of us were trained for live TV, so we know how it is. Anything goes, anytime, just be prepared.
just here. You're just here.
Just there.
Yeah, no, sure. Man, firstly, I just want to say to the ladies that have spoken, I am, not only do I resonate, but I'm truly, truly inspired by what you guys have said. It's so interesting how you would, it's when you're in a situation, it's very easy to think that you are probably the only person going through something. And when we speak to our friends and other people who may be going through things, we speak to them as though there is help out there, and there is some kind of healing and assistance that they can get. But when it comes to ourselves, we really think that we are unique to the situation, or we are the exception to the healing and the growth. So hearing you guys' stories and what you guys had to say, it really, really inspired me. And I resonate so closely with what you've said. So I'm very excited about this conversation just holistically. So it's funny because the two things that have been spoken about are things that kind of linked to what I'm going to talk about right now. And I chose this topic not just because it's something that I've gone through, and I think each and every single person has pretty much gone through it to a certain extent. But I've chosen this topic just because of how it just screamed at me, right? I loved how Intle put it. She said, heal, damn it. And in my mind, it kind of felt like someone just shouting at me saying, heal. And I loved it so much because there's a difference between, you need to heal, as if you're hearing it for the first time and it's some sudden awakening. And then there's the heal, damn it, because it's about time that you heal. And healing is just something that we are very quick to run away from, even though we want it so much. It's almost like a contradiction of a sort, where we want to heal and we want healing because obviously we don't like the situation that we're in, but we run away from healing because of the process that it takes to heal. I think of young kids when when they're not feeling well, for example, and they don't want to go to the doctor, and you have to tell them, you're going to the doctor right now, you're going to get your injection, and they're like, nope, no, I'm fine, the cough wasn't that bad, they start acting like they're fine or whatever. Or people who don't want to go to the dentist, at that time they'd rather stay with their pain and probably just take some numbing agents, just just as long as I can numb it. But I don't want to actually go through the process of healing. And I think that's why you get to a point, maybe as a friend or as a mentor, to say, damn it, just heal, just heal. Because in the long run, it is so much more beneficial. And even though right now it seems like something that's just going to be so torturing, and you just don't want to go through it, you have to do it. You just have to go for it. Damn it, just heal. So I'm very, very happy that Entle even put it up there, and I was like, you know what, this is for me, because I am this person, and I'm currently in a season where thank God it's been happening for quite some time now, and I'm really seeing the positive results of it. But I'm currently in a season of healing from a number of things, and it's beautiful. It really, really is. I think the term beautiful for me isn't just something that is probably aesthetically pleasing, or something that just feels great, but just it's just holistically beautiful, because of what it's doing to me, and I guess what it's doing to the person is healing. There's a quote that I came across yesterday, quite timely, and it resonated with this so much. It said, I didn't have like who said it, unfortunately. It was one of those ones on social media where someone posted, but it said, you will keep meeting the same people in different bodies until you learn your lesson. Whew, my gosh. By the way, I'm very dramatic, so if I'm like shouting or I'm like, just bear with me, and you guys can, chip in at any point. I don't mind being interrupted whatsoever. But I absolutely love this quote. I'll read it again. It says, you'll keep meeting the same people in different bodies until you learn your lesson. When I found it, I rewrote it for this panel discussion. And I said, you will keep incurring the same damage in different circumstances until you heal. You will keep incurring the same damage in different circumstances until you heal. I'm trying to think of an example, but I've seen so many people, I've even seen, like, you see it in cartoons a lot, where people are just constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again, and then they hit a wall. And instead of taking a breather, rethinking, re-strategizing, asking themselves where they went wrong, they just keep walking again blindly until they hit another wall again, or those people who just keep bumping. It's in comedy movies or shows more often than never, where they just keep bumping into the same wall and keeps hitting them until they finally spiral out of control and they fall down. I think that's how we are as people when it comes to healing. We don't understand how, sorry, there's a car going by. We really don't understand the importance of healing properly, and because I guess it's so hard, like I said, but it is so crucial for your progression, because if you don't, you will not progress. You will just keep hitting the same wall. You'll keep meeting the same kind of people because you surround yourself in those kinds of environments, and you'll keep doing the exact same thing that's problematic because you haven't tried to seek out a solution. And again, that's why I really love the statement of saying heal, damn it, because it's just like, damn it, just do it already. Just do it. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be hard, but you have to do it so that you can actually progress. There's the shortest way that I can put it in terms of my experiences. I've had a lot of things that I've had to heal from, but the best way that I can describe it, which I think many will be able to understand, but thank God I went through it as well, is in the healing of a physical ailment. So story time. So when I was I'll try to keep it brief. When I was in grade 8, I was playing soccer and I was kicking a ball. That was the first mistake because soccer is not one of my strongest suits. I don't think sports is, but we just like things. So I was playing soccer, and while I was kicking the ball, instead of kicking the ball, I kicked the brick. See how bad I am. But I kicked the brick, so and I missed the ball, and my foot started swelling. So initially I just thought, okay, it's the swollen foot, it's fine, we'll just chill, and then it started getting a lot worse. We went to the doctor. Doctor said it should, get smaller as time goes on. And we first went to a general practitioner, and they were like, no, like everything will be fine in due time. The swelling went down a bit, but gradually my legs started getting bigger. And I remember I was telling my parents that my leg was getting bigger, and they were like, no, it's not. It was a very, very gradual process. So you wouldn't necessarily tell the difference, but I definitely knew the difference, right? Because I know myself. And some people may not know you as much as, well, they probably won't know you as much as you do. And that's why it's very important for you to seek out the healing. That's a young side note. So eventually they could tell that my leg is significantly bigger. And then we went to the doctor. And for a year, we were going to doctors back and forth. The one doctor would tell us it's this and it's not this, and then we have to go to a different person until we started seeing specialists. And for a year, we're literally seeking out, help because this leg was getting significantly bigger. We then found out, I guess within that, at the end of that year period, that I had a condition called lymphedema. And mine was lymphedema precox because it happened before it was supposed to happen. So apparently it was a condition that was going to happen in due time. But me kicking the ball triggered it a lot sooner. And so lymphedema is pretty much a swelling of a part of your body. And it's pretty much just excess fluids in your body that are just stuck there. And, they said that there wasn't a cure and everything like that. And I remember I was devastated. That year alone was very devastating. I mean, I'm young. I'm in grade 8. We wear short skirts. And I remember I had to ask the school if I could wear pants because I was so insecure about my leg. And, I didn't want to play any sports because, we wear short nipple dresses. It was just a very insecure period of my life. And you can imagine, I'm not necessarily extroverted, but I am quite outspoken. And that pretty much just put me back into like some kind of, I guess, corner. And it was a very difficult thing to kind of work through in high school. You have a lot of insecurities that I guess are normal, and then now I have this big one, excuse the pun, and and it's one that not a lot of people know about. So I had to then explain it to people, and then they make fun of me, and it was just a lot. It really was just a lot emotionally, I guess, in that space. But I won't lie, that period taught me a lot of things. I really am, just trying to skip a bunch of chapters, but I will get to the crux of things. Going through that taught me a lot. To know that I had a condition that was deemed incurable, and I had to deal with that, and I had to deal with not just the pain of it, but just the insecurities that come with it. It taught me a lot, and it strengthened me so much. And it's just a few things that I want to share with you guys that period taught me. The first thing was to know, I wrote them down, bear with me, I'm that pedantic. So the first thing was to know the root cause, right? I could have easily just been like, oh, it's just another swollen leg or something, and just went about my way, or just stuck with what my GP had said and let it go. But once you start to see that the healing hasn't taken place, or the full healing hasn't taken place, you have to then take it upon yourself to seek out help, to find out exactly what the cause is. Because I could have thought, oh no, it was caused by me kicking a brick, but it wasn't caused by me kicking a brick. The brick may have triggered it, but that wasn't the thing that I had to heal from. What I had to heal from was the lymphedema itself. I had to find out what caused the lymphedema, and from what I found out, it was a birth defect. And then in that way, then I can start to treat what it actually is, as opposed to just some, young swelling. And so it's very important to know what it is that actually caused the destruction. The second thing is you need to know the damage. Now, the great thing about seeking out what the root cause is, you really start to see specialists, and they do x-rays. I mean, if you think of an x-ray, it literally goes very deep in. It doesn't just, look at the surface. And that's what we really need to do with our healing. We need to x-ray our healing. We need to x-ray ourselves. I want to even say, not just know the damage that it caused, but know the further damage that it created. What I thought, and this may be, again, a little corny, but what I thought was a physical ailment healing was actually channeled me to the insecurities that I had with myself, and I guess the values that I had. Clearly, I'm not saying that it wasn't normal, that I felt this way, but I definitely took a lot of pride in how I looked. It was it was so important to me that it was too important to me, that it would destroy me mentally and emotionally if my body wasn't socially accepted. If I wasn't the kind of person that people, would want to associate with because of how I looked. And so I would hide my leg all the time. I would even stuff socks and try to make them, look even. I would never wear shorts. I would never wear skirts. I would just constantly hide it. And I feel like that's an even bigger issue. And that's the thing that I actually had to heal from. If anything, I feel like that's what God was trying to enlighten me to. Because we start to then hold on to the things that really are fickle, that are invaluable, when the true sense of who we are is ourselves, our souls. This is not us. And so that's one of the things actually that having a lymphedema kind of revealed to me. And so you really need to know the damage that what happened to you caused. Whatever it is, it may be something emotional, maybe something that was done to you, it may be something that happened to you, but you really need to know what it is that it did, so that you can heal the right thing. If I can heal this lymphedema, I may still have physical insecurities. I may have other insecurities, but I wouldn't know that because I'm trying to heal the wrong thing, So you really need to know the damage. And then the third thing, and the final thing, is to know that you can heal. Like I said, Entler knows this, right? Because I don't know if you mind me sharing, Entler, that like, okay, I'm
It's
just gonna
okay.
say it. Okay,
It's
cool.
okay.
And thank you. Entler knows this because, you know, we pretty much deal with the same condition. I what this condition did to me, it really broke me for a very long time. And like I said before, I genuinely thought that what I had to heal from was this. Now I know, okay, now that I have this condition, what are the things that I need to eat? What are the things that I need to take? What medications do I have to use just to, what's the word? Maneuver around it or balance it and things like that. So that's the one thing. But with the insecurities that it arose, if that's proper English, that came about from the lymphedema, with everything that I had to deal with because of it, there was a time where I genuinely thought that I couldn't heal from it. There was a time where I thought that, you know what, I guess this is just me. I should just stay in this sense of comfort, because sometimes your insecurities can be quite a comfortable position to stay in. It's very difficult to just break out. But once I knew that, you know, that's actually not ideal, that's actually not the way to live life, because it's stopping you from progressing and from doing the things that you have to do, that you are called to do, like speaking like this, for example. I knew that not only should I heal, but I can, and I have. And this is what I'm doing right now. This is actually indicative of my healing. It's so funny because there's so many times I'm also still triggered and I'm like, oh no, but I just want to go back into that corner and I want to huddle up. But don't confuse triggers for a lack of healing. It is very normal to be triggered. It's just what you do from that trigger now, you know, and the importance of healing is sorry, the strength in healing is so great that it will literally allow you to push past those triggers, you know. So that was pretty much me in a nutshell, in the sense of healing. But if there's anything that I really want everyone to walk away with, it's the fact that not only should you heal, not only do I want you to heal, and not only is it very, very important for you to heal, but it really, really is possible. You just have to commit to it so much, because you cannot walk around wounded. And don't, that's the other thing. I don't want you to confuse your scars for a lack of healing. A wound is completely different to a scar. When you have a scar, it's just indicative of the fact that you have healed. And that's what I see this lymphedema as right now. It's not, for me, it's not a wound that I'm walking around with trying to cover up, and trying to, you know, press down the bleeding. But it's actually indicative of my healing, because now I'm walking around with my legs carefree, rocking my, you know, my cute skirts and whatnot. And I want everyone to walk away with that. I want everyone to be able to walk fully healed, despite their scars. Yeah, that's that. I never know how to end things. I'm gonna talk, like, I'm gonna go on a tangent if you don't stop me right now, so please do.
Listen, it doesn't matter. We were enjoying what you're saying. Bahumi,
Yeah.
whew, please allow the minister in me to talk to you. Not your big sister, not your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Who forced you to go to that game where you kicked the soccer ball, and then what happened?
Wow, who forced me?
That's the question I need to ask you, and then there's a follow-up, and then I'm going to leave it with you to deal with.
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask the follow-up.
No.
Wait, sorry, I'm not understanding. What do you mean, who forced me?
So,
like, literally,
how did you get to that game? How did you get there? Was that your choice? How did you get to that game that changed things?
Oh, it was definitely a choice. It was definitely
Okay.
a choice. It really was just something, just leisurely. Like, we're just playing with the kids and stuff, and I just started playing the game, and then I kicked the ball. I kicked the brick.
And have you forgiven Bahumi for that? Because over and above the insecurities that you have spoken of, have you forgiven yourself for what happened that day? Because that on its own is something that needs healing. That's the root cause. Because it's like, if I hadn't done that, if I haven't gone there, if this, that, and the next thing. And the reason I'm asking you this is it was one of the toughest things for me to heal from, because how what is happening to me came about was I was being punished for not being able to spell a word, and I was beaten under my feet because the person that was raising me wanted to hit me where other people couldn't see. But she hit me so much that she caused damage under both my feet. And that for me took almost 30 years to deal with, because every time I wake up and I look, I mean, we were having a conversation yesterday and I was like, yo, they're so big today that I can't fit into my shoes. Can you bring me something? You know, so those things, but I was able to speak about it without feeling anything tugging at my heart or any anger. So I wanted to ask you that, and not because I'm asking Bahumi, but I'm asking someone that's listening. When you are talking about the root cause of things, you know, it's so important to go back, not to look at what is happening to you, as you were saying, or to look at the outcome and the repercussions or the output of this thing that you are thinking you need to deal with. But it is so important that you have a full understanding that someone or something is accountable to the situation that you're in. Have you dealt with that thing? Have you acknowledged that thing? Are you then able to let go of that thing? Because it is then that thing that starts to overwhelm you and overcome you and become your navigation. It navigates your thoughts, your reactions, everything about you is now this thing. So I'm so grateful that you are not blaming Bahumi for what has happened, because it would have held you back from experiencing this phenomenal woman that you are. You know, I think the best of you. I think very highly of you, not because of who you are on social media or in the media streets, but the woman that God has graced you with, because it's God that is trusting you with Bahumi. Yes, you are Bahumi, but God is trusting you with Himself. Why? Because it is Him that is dwelling inside of you. He is trusting you with what He has given you and what it is that you're supposed to do with it. You know, so you can just sit and be like, nah, well, you know, lymphedema is what it is. I'll just sit. I just won't do anything, whatever the case may be. But I don't know if you saw all the comments. People are
Sorry,
really,
just
really appreciative. They are really
thank you.
appreciative. But ladies, just so I share, I will try and download this if I can and share it with you all, just so you can go through it in your own time. I have been sharing all of the comments as they come in, just so you have reference to what people are saying about you and to you. But people are really blessed, ladies, by everything that is being said and is being shared. So thank you so much once again. Leslie Dalton Nashe. Before I go
Yay.
to Leslie, sorry, does anyone want to say anything to Bahumi or make comments? Okay, there's something from Zigankosi. The comment is, thank you, Bahumi. You're an incredible young lady. Tons of love. Ziga, Bahumi
Thanks,
prefers real
Ntika. Love
roses.
you.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me being bitchy? Bahumi prefers real roses. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate all the comments. Thank you for sharing your data with us. Actually, highly appreciated. So can I continue, ladies? Or does anyone have anything to say? Okay, Leanne, we're 5 minutes to the time we had said we're going to finish. Do you want to drop off? I know you're quite busy. Okay.
Yes, thanks so
Thank you
much,
so
April.
much.
Yeah, I'm gonna be shooting out, but thank you so much. So Bahumi, thank you so much for your message. Such a fantastic, inspirational message for everybody out there to hear, and for us ourselves as well. You know, I think my just lasting comment and my lasting little bit of input for today is, I think if we need to actually sit back and be honest with ourselves and acknowledge, are we getting something from being where we're stuck at? What are we getting out of being where we're stuck at?
Sure.
And if we can be true to why we are there, is it a positive or is it a negative? And if it's impacting us negatively, we need to heal, damn it. Look it in the face and heal from it. And but yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much. And thanks for letting me share the stage with you. So I really appreciate the time, Inke. Guys, thank you so much,
Sure.
ladies.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you,
Take
Leanne.
care.
I know that your time is very limited. So thank
Thank
you. Really. Please send my love to Karen.
Will do.
Lots
Thank
of
you so much,
loves.
guys. Take
And
care, guys.
Maverick and
Thank you.
Saber and Milo. Tell them I say hi.
Will do. Will
See
do.
you
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Leslie, over to you. Ladies, if you don't mind, maybe let's push another 15 minutes just so we can allow Leslie and Bongiwe to speak. That's if that's okay with you. And if you need to drop off, please do let me know. We did say we're finishing at 11:30. Is that okay? Thanks, Lita. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Beautiful Leslie Dalton Neshehe.
Thank you,
What
Intle.
a trooper. You are such a trooper. You are such a phenomenal woman. You know, you
Oh,
are truly an ambassador, you know, I think for people that push through. If there was ever a person that is pushed through, it is Leslie Dalton Neshehe. She really is a push through kind of person, despite circumstances, despite what is really happening in her reality. You know, she really is someone that pushes through. So I really value that about you. And the floor is yours. The floor is all yours.
thank You're gonna make me cry before I start, Intle. No, but
It's
thank you.
fine. You look beautiful regardless.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. I think my topic is it suits my situation. My topic is it is okay to not have it together. Okay. First of all, let me say Happy Women's Day. I just want to say to all of the ladies out there, Happy Women's Day. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being who you are, the so called good, the bad, and the in between. Yeah, happy Women's Day. And I just want to say embrace yourself, embrace who you are. And there's so much power and healing in that. Um, okay, I just want everybody, I know this is going to seem strange. I just want you to really, I can't hear you, but I want you to take a deep breath and truly say to yourself, it is okay to not have it together. Because the truth of the matter is, as you guys heard, I am trained as a psychologist and I'm also a life coach. And one of the basic things that we learn as life coaches is that we need to teach other people and ourselves to be able to accept ourselves and love ourselves no matter what. Yes, I said it. No matter what. Um, we need to meet the client where they are. Because if we don't meet the person where they are, then they cannot move forward. We have to first accept where we are, even if it is in the midst of a mess. Okay? You guys know the world puts a lot of demands on us. We're supposed to be, okay, what's your list? We're supposed to be skinny. We're supposed to be beautiful. Our house should be spotless. Our children should be beautiful and smart and have perfect manners, and everything must just be perfect, 100%. So, not only are we responsible for ourselves, we are even responsible for the people that are around us. So, we must be 110%, and everyone around us must be 110%. And if they're not, then we're not okay. I think as ladies, you guys can possibly relate to what I'm saying right now. I'm here to tell you today that you're okay no matter what. God loves you. God made you to be who you are, specifically for a purpose, for your own purpose and a God-given purpose. So it is okay to be who you are. And there's another saying. When I was in my master's program for psychology in school in the States, my professors would say to me, Leslie, life is not a destination, it is a journey. And we must accept ourselves no matter where we are on the journey. Because I always found that I was pushing myself. I was always trying to get somewhere. And I always felt like I couldn't be happy until I had reached that destination. And what I realized is I have to be happy, or try to learn to accept and be happy no matter where I am in the midst of the journey. Okay. So basically, again, it's okay not to have it together. I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of obstacles in life. But what I tell myself is new levels, new devils. Okay. So what that means is, if there is a true anointing upon your life, which I know there is because you were made by God, the enemy is going to come and he is going to try to put obstacles in front of you. He's going to give you challenges and that type of thing because he doesn't want you to reach your God-given destiny. But I'm here to tell you today that you will reach your God-given destiny because that's what God wants for you. But in the meantime, don't beat yourself up too much, because as we beat ourselves up, that's what holds us back. We have to learn to love ourselves in the midst of whatever it is that's happening to us. I'm not sure if you ladies know that I was married to someone that was on TV, a well-known actor. I know I'm white. Well, I look white. Sometimes I think my spirit is African. But I was married to a Venda man, and a pretty well-known Venda man. And so we had red carpet events and that kind of thing. I was at SAFTAs and all of these big glamorous things. And there were, there's always the expectations of the world, but when you're on the red carpet, it's even worse. So you must look like this, you must be this, you must talk like this, you must have the perfect dress, your makeup must be perfect. And I've always been one of those people that's been like, I am who I am. And I try my best, but I may not always meet the expectations of others. And I remember one time we were on the red carpet. I had just given birth to, I can't remember if it was my oldest daughter or Sadie, my second. And I remember I had to get a dress. And this is so bad, don't tell anyone. I went to Edgar's at the mall to grab a dress real quick to go to SAFTA's, because I was breastfeeding. I was doing all these things that us women do. And so I got this dress that I thought was okay. And I get to this event, and they have the presenters there and everything. And they're like, "Who's your designer? Who designed your dress?" And I was very proud of myself because I had already anticipated that they were going to ask me this, because again, there's all of these expectations put upon us, right? I said, "You know what? I had the best designer. His first name starts with Ed and his surname is Gers. Ed Gers." And so they actually ended up playing this over and over and over again on TV, because I think I was trying to set an example of, it's okay. I didn't have a big time designer that designed my dress. But you know what? I'm still worthy. I'm still worthy. I'm still okay. And also being in that spotlight and being married to this person, and coming from a foreign country into South Africa, I also got the feeling that a lot of people didn't think that I deserved to be where I was, or I didn't deserve to be with him. And sorry to be so blunt, but some of the African women would be like, "Who's this? Who's this white lady taking our men?" I know you guys are laughing right now that I'm saying that out loud, but there was this energy of who does she think she is? Always just people putting me down, and maybe even this inner voice also of putting me down. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I think on some level you can relate. There's some place in your life where you've heard yourself say, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I want you to realize today that you are worthy no matter what. You are a beautiful person. You have a purpose. You have a beautiful destiny in front of you. You just need to believe it and know it. Unconditional love, guys, has so much power. We have to learn how to love ourselves unconditionally. And when we love others in an unconditional way, then we give them permission to also love themselves in an unconditional way. So I just want to let you know that no matter where you are in your life, no matter where you are in your journey, no matter how many voices that you're hearing right now telling you that you're not where you're supposed to be, I want to tell you to love yourself, accept yourself, because that's when you do that, that's when you're going to be able to grow. And that's when you're going to be able to develop into the person that you're supposed to be. So don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Love yourself for who you are. Try to be who you want to be, but one step at the time. It is truly okay not to have it together all the time, because eventually you will get to where you're supposed to be. And where you're supposed to be is to love yourself no matter where you are. And the people that truly love you will love you no matter what. And they will love you with your hair messed up, with no makeup on, with your house may be a mess, your kids may be a mess, or whatever. Those are the people that truly love you. And God loves you no matter what. So just embrace yourself, the good, the bad, and the in between. And again, just know it's okay not to have it all together. I may not know you, but if I do meet you, but in spirit, I love you no matter where you are in your journey. Just keep on trying and keep on going. Thank you. I can't hear you, Intle.
You know what? That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Sure. That was absolutely fantastic. The comments are really quite interesting. Let me just read one here from Nolwazi Ndlovu. It's what's on the screen now. Wow, Leslie, we also put ourselves down big time. I've been my biggest critic for the longest time. The number of times I've self-sabotaged. Thank you for this. There
Uh-huh.
are really just fantastic messages. People are calling you authentic. People are grateful that you've allowed yourself to be so vulnerable. Um, this is actually a relative of ours, Toby Makama. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Toby, for even tuning in. Thank you. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Eckstein Cream. Thank you, Les. You are such a blessing to the nations.
Oh, sweet.
Then there's this PN. PN has been commenting ever since the beginning. Thank you, Leslie. That's what PN says. PN, thank you for tuning in and actually just journeying with us. Thank you so much. There's Anne Lekuno, who's left some really amazing messages. You ladies will see when you go through the live later on. And Anele is just saying, thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much. Anele, thank you also for just being present. Thank you so much. Highly appreciated. I think, what I value about you, Leslie, is you've always just been authentic. you know, and people might think, no, you want attention. People might think that you are calling for this, that, and the next thing. I just love the fact that you allow yourself to be vulnerable time and time again, which for me is so important, you know, because I think, especially as Christians, men are we great at putting up facades. We're fantastic at it and making other people feel less than because we just fail to expose people to flaws and to cracks and to things that we're still dealing with. We make them feel as if just because everything is not 100% on all fronts, something is wrong with them. God doesn't love them enough, and so I really just appreciate the fact that you were open. And I mean, I haven't bought from your designer, Edgar's, very recently, but I do agree that it is a place to go to when you are going out. I think we do tend to shoot ourselves in the foot because, as Bahumi was saying, we like things and we like people to know that we like things, and then we live above our means, which is also quite unfortunate. Dr. B, are you
Hi,
ready? Leslie,
I am.
thank you. Mwah. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Hi,
Okay, shall we
everyone.
hit it?
Yes.
Hi.
Thank you so much for this platform. I'm actually quite touched by each topic because I feel like it's
Did we just lose Dr. B there? Okay, no stress, no problem. I'm sure she'll come back in when she's ready. Let's just allow her to regroup. Okay, there we go. She's back. Dr. B, can you hear us? Okay, let's just allow her picture to pick up. Okay, there we go.
all right.
Welcome
Sorry
back,
about
round
that.
two.
Sorry
It's
about that.
okay. It's okay.
Just thank you so much with to everyone, the speakers. I actually loved every topic, and it basically sums up part of my journey and my topic. And I am quite overwhelmed by what everyone has shared on their behalf. Just a quick one on my side. I'll give a background on who I am and what I've been through that basically will probably make sense about my topic, which is basically on purpose. So I'm a doctor, but before I even get there, I need to say that I grew up in a small town in Newcastle and I moved to Durban to study, but I never planned to become a doctor. It was the last thing on my mind. I think I became a last minute doctor. That's what I often say, you know, to people because it was the last thing that crossed my mind. So I loved media studies growing up. That was my plan to go into advertising in the long run. And, you know, that was what I wanted to do. But I ended up in medicine. So I did a year of media and then I ended up going to medicine. By default, I just applied just one morning, something drew me to medicine. And then I applied to varsity and I got accepted, and that's where my journey began. And my topic is purpose. So basically, one has to basically ask themselves, what is purpose and your purpose in life and why you are born and what your existence is, because ultimately that's what it's all about. What is your reason for being around, being alive and being born, and what you need to do in life? For me, I always say that personally, I was drawn into medicine. So I figured that my purpose had to do something with helping people. But at the time when you're young, you don't think about what your purpose is in life. You're just breathing, you're living until you get older and you start thinking about why, your whys. Why am I alive? Why am I doing this? Why am I studying? Why am I working? Why am I doing this? Why can't I just, you know, be wherever I want to be and sip cocktails and have a nice life. But for me, my journey has always been pointing me in one direction. And I had to learn a lot of things about what purpose is all about. So I've come to discover my purpose to be basically that of helping others. It is in line with my career, my God-given career, it's a line about helping, healing, and assisting people. And I found that to not only be in my career as a doctor, but it transpired in my personal life as well. In my circle of friends and family as well, I've become someone that that helps people a lot. You know, people come to me with their thought processes, their problems, to talk it out, and I am usually like the fixer of a lot of things. I create solutions. I am helping in that kind of way. So I figured out that I'm naturally am able to help people navigate through their own lives, and that's the thing for me where I didn't realize it earlier, but now I do, that I'm just naturally possibly a natural healer. And so often many people don't know how would you know what your purpose is in life. And truth is, we don't really know what our purpose is in life. But what I've found is that if you're constantly in a space where you're being pushed into spaces repeatedly, into spaces where you found yourself doing the same thing over and over, and those places and those spaces bring about healing to you, they bring about comfort to you, and they help the next person. I think that's the beginning phase in where you realize where you're meant to be. And for me, I've found myself constantly in a space of healing, outside of my work, that is as well. I find myself being in spaces where I'm naturally at peace after assisting someone in whichever way that I've come into, contact with them. And it still happens now in my career as well. But outside of medicine, I now do aesthetics. And yeah, it's basically me finding myself being in those kind of spaces. And then the discovery of your purpose, I think it is quite a tricky one, because as many of you said, life is tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky. So you don't really there's no turning points really, or you get an aha moment, so to speak, where you basically discover when or what your purpose is. Like I said, it's being in constant spaces, and it can be in any phase in your life where you find yourself actually realizing that there's a pattern in my life, and I'm doing this over and over and over again. And also, obviously, learning new things basically take time, and you will fail at some point in whatever you're doing. You will try to assist people. I have tried and I have failed, but more often than not, I don't fail in assisting people. So I do try with that. So with my journey, it's basic. I'm being broad now because of time, but in my journey in terms of healing and purpose, I found that healing is my purpose in life. And I've also opened my own aesthetics practice, basically. And with that, how that came about is because growing up, I had acne. I had horrible teenage acne. And I treated myself. I put myself in antibiotics for 6 months. It worked during the time, and then it came back again. I put myself on Accutane. I basically treated myself from day in and out. I've never seen a dermatologist. And for me, I had to learn to heal myself. And with that came the passion of healing the next person, which is what drew me to aesthetics, where it's not only about looking pretty and just being out there. It's about helping the next person. I help a lot of teens. I help a lot of people who are self-conscious and who don't have confidence and esteem, because I've been there. I've been there growing up as a teenager and a young adult. And I feel like if I can help a lot of people, with their confidence, it can help a lot in life. So that is where my aesthetics practice came from. It came from a place of healing. It came from a place of helping others. And that is where I also realized that my purpose in life is to help others in many ways outside of just the aesthetics of looks. It's also just your self-esteem and your confidence. Again, I say finding your purpose is basically something that brings you peace and helps the next person. And when you find that thing, you also have to acknowledge that it is not your own doing. It is really God. And I say God because it is God who gives you a vision. It is God who plants the seed within you. It is God who basically is responsible for all of this. He makes you go through things yourself. As all these topics have said, you've got to heal yourself. You've got to go through things, heal through those things. And through the healing process, you get to understand why you're placed there. And when you understand your why, you begin to heal and you begin to help the next person. So that's where I've come to learn as well. And in my journey, like I've said also, I don't always get it right. I've probably not given the worst advice to other people, but it was never the intention. But more often than not, I don't have that negative impact on many people that come to my space and come into my life. That you know that need any sort of help. And also some people often ask Guti, your purpose, where do you find your purpose in life? How do you know that that's it, and for me the biggest thing is your purpose lies deep within you. Like I said, it's a God-given gift, it's a vision, it's a feeling within you. It's something that gives you peace. It's something that helps the next person. It's something that helps you grow and be better, that helps the environment and everyone around you be better. It's really something that can't be, it's an internal process, basically. And once you find it, it becomes so natural in every essence. It becomes so natural in doing. It becomes who you are. And I believe in the universe and God, and the things you attract naturally gravitate, you into that space of helping others, which is my journey. And other people have different purposes and journeys in life, obviously, and you will know that purely by being in the spaces which you have been exposed to. I have a lot to share, but because of time, I just thought that I just summarize everything and I cut a lot of things down. But basically, in summary, your purpose is basically God-given. It's innate, and it basically, God will make you go through things, make you heal. He will teach you failures so that in those failures, you learn as well how to correct yourself and help the next person. He'll take you through different things, and also, taking a different direction and turn in life. For me, I've been through that as well, as our previous speaker has spoken, where you go from media studies into medicine type of thing, and that also is a part of your journey in life where God will put you in the space and the lane in which he needs to put you in, meaning he will change your direction. He will change your plans. God will change your plans. He will make things suit him, because ultimately his goal and his life and his plan for you is what needs to happen and needs to prevail. I hope I make sense. I am a bit nervous, but also time as well. And the most part of it, I think if you haven't found your purpose, I think praying about it and also looking at your journey where you are in life and seeing what you really, really want to do and focusing on what you want to do and what you need to do in life. I think that can help you or anyone basically find their purpose. And yeah, it's just that as well. And knowing that you're worthy to be in this journey, whichever journey you are in, you're worthy, and you should be very thankful that you are in this path, and that God has not let you down, that God will keep teaching you and bringing you in those spaces. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to summarize, basically due to time, but yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. B. Thank you, thank you. There's a question here. I don't know if you want to attend to it. It's PN saying, Dr. B, what if your purpose doesn't give you profit in life?
It won't initially give you a profit in life. Your purpose should solely be about your dreams, your vision. Your passion is basically your purpose in life. And you shouldn't chase money. I don't believe in chasing money. I believe in chasing dreams. I believe in chasing goals. I believe in chasing peace. And with that, you will get your profit. So, for example, if I was to be very direct and speak about my life, when I opened Zuri Aesthetics, I didn't open Zuri because I wanted to make money. That's not it, you know. Like I said, my vision for Zuri is really to inspire people. It's really to heal people. It's really to, heal people from their skin conditions that I experienced. Because I know what it's like to have acne. I know what it's like to be self-conscious and not be confident and not do what I want to do, you know. I think Buhumi also mentioned something about how the lymphedema affected her in a way. She couldn't wear short skirts and such things. That for me is what I want to do. I want to bring about that positive change to people. That was the whole aim of Zuri. The profits are a by the way thing. It is a business, yes, but it was not the main reason why I opened Zuri Aesthetics. My main vision was to help people. It was to heal people. And most of my clients know that when we get into my rooms, we talk deep stuff. Many of them will know that I've assisted. We've had deep conversations where it's beyond the skin, it's beyond the weight, it's beyond all the stuff. And for me, that's what makes me happy, is that when people come into my space, they come in with all sorts of other things. We get to talk about it. We get to help each other. I get to help them in ways outside of Zuri. And for me, that makes me feel good. And I believe that God brings certain individuals into my practice. Sometimes people need to talk and have therapy. So long story short, it's not about profits. Never align anything you do to money, because that can change and it's easy to change. Your goals can be easily swayed if everything has to do with money. But if everything has to do with your dreams and your passion, that is a constant. You will constantly fight for everything because business is hard. There are days where you don't want to wake up in the morning. There are days where you don't want to do anything. But if you have a passion for anything in life, that dream, that goal, that vision is what keeps you going, that what keeps you working hard. Even when you are failing, you want to work harder, you know, because you have this dream that has to make sure that you keep fighting. So don't chase profits. It sounds bad, but don't chase money. Money will chase you. Money will follow you after you you do the things. I believe in that. Strongly believe in that.
Can I chime in on
Okay.
something if
No,
that's
thank
okay?
you. Of course, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I love what you said there. The whole thing of, you know, don't chase money. And I know you said it sounds bad. It doesn't sound bad at all. And it's funny because I think, I mean, even in the sense that you're saying it, and probably the sense that the person who asked that question was asking it, they meant it for financial gain, right? And I think we shouldn't think that profit is directly linked to financial gain. There is financial profit, but if anything, you can do some. Let me just put it this way. So the root Latin word for the word profit actually means progress, right? And so obviously, in the sense of the world that we live in right now, everything is linked to money because the world is just a money making place, and so we think that everything just has to be financial. But if you want to fulfill your purpose, and you think that profit is just particularly linked to money, then you've missed the complete idea of what profit is at the root of it. Again, going back to the root cause of things. Your purpose will be profitable. But if you think that profit is money, then you've lost the purpose of profits, and I guess, your purpose. So just make sure that, I mean, like you're saying, it doesn't really have to be about money. You can be profitable in your purpose, but the profit doesn't necessarily just mean, money. I think God was profitable in his purpose, as well. Okay, I'm going to go on a tangent again. I'm going to stop by.
The bees, the Buhumi and the Bongiwe, thank you so much. Dr. B, there is a Lebu Dlamini that would like to talk to you. So she's talking about acne that she's trying to treat. Can you maybe just share your, and she's gone.
Angela,
Yes.
No, I'm saying I have to jet. I'm going to a virtual baby shower that's
Of
starting now.
course. I know, my angel. I know. Thank you so much. Do you have any
Alright, thank
parting
you very
words?
much.
I'm also going to let the other ladies go now. Do you have any parting
Okay.
words?
Yeah, today's session was rather really heavy. And like you said, like it's gonna take a bit of time for us to properly unpack everything to figure out where exactly things fit into what we've been talking about. But just as a parting word, and just to add on to what Dr. B and Bahumi were talking about, but how profit and purpose are not intrinsically linked. I think when you're walking in your purpose, the profits come. I think that's what I want to add. Money is the consequence of you walking in your purpose. It's never the starting point. So I think that's what people and all of us need to hold on to, is to know that if you're working on the purpose, things will align eventually. It might not look, it's going to look hazy right now, but as you continue walking and trusting and having your faith in God, things will pick up. You know, I'm very optimistic. I'm an optimistic human being. So yeah, that's what I want to leave people with.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think Lita, from my side, I'm hoping this is not going to be the last that we're going to host. There is another one that I'm planning for the young group of people I would like you to join. Can I just ask before you leave us to tell the people where they can find you on social media should someone want to pick up the conversation? Guys, can you please just mute your mic? Sorry, someone has got a lot of feedback.
Okay, social media, Instagram, I am Lita Letu, not very active on Facebook and Twitter, so let's just stick to Instagram. I am Lita Letu on Instagram, and yeah, we can chat there.
Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for staying.
Thank you.
We started a bit late, obviously. Thank you again. We will chat offline.
Right.
You are such a blessing.
Sure.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your family and your friends. That was such a great support structure. Please send my love. Thank you so much.
Will.
Have a great baby shower. Enjoy the last day of freedom, and then back to reality tomorrow.
Sure. Thanks, Ainsley. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Bye. So, you know, I think if you don't mind me just adding on to what you were saying, Dr. B, I've given you a name now. You are now Dr. B. It is what it is. Deal with it. Deal with it. I wanted to say, you know, I think there's a misconception about what purpose is and where purpose is. Purpose is not found in other people. Purpose is not given by other people. Purpose is not something that is fed to you. Purpose is that thing that keeps you up at night. It's that thing that won't allow you to sleep in, even on a day like this. Purpose is that thing that drives you, that gets you daydreaming, the dreams that people are saying, you know what, I think you need to just tone it down, look at your circumstance. That's what purpose is. And when I spoke briefly about this God that dwells within, you receive Christ as your Lord and Savior. Therefore, this Christ is then within you, right? So this Christ now needs to be glorified. And we keep looking outward, yet this Christ is inside. So now this Christ needs to show up, and then he needs to show off. What does this mean? This means now that you need to excel in something. Otherwise, people are going to keep saying, so where's this Jesus of yours? Where's your Jesus? So now this thing's going to start bothering you. You're going to see something. It's going to drive you nuts. You're going to keep thinking about something or keep seeing errors in a segment or a sector or whatever, or corporate. And this thing is going to bother you. Why? Because God has instilled a solution inside of you. And it's going to drive you nuts, and it's going to drive you nuts. And you're going to say, but God, I need breakthrough. I need money, Lord. I need this. I need that. And God's like, hello, I am bothering you for a reason. Please wake up and catch a wake up. Right? So for me, that is what purpose is. Then in the word of God, it then says that your gift will put you before kings. Now, we're not in that time where we are living with kings and queens. We have a government. Most of us are living in a democracy. So now this gift of yours is now supposed to open up doors for you. And when those doors are open, PN, for example, that is when you are going to get some sustenance from that purpose. It's going to feed you. And as Bahumi was saying, it's going to heal you. It's going to allow you to work through things and experience this potential that you are. And that is why we have platforms like these where we are reminding you, viewer, that you are the masterpiece. You are God ordained. You are perfect. You are peculiar. You are different, and that is okay. You know, so I'm really grateful, ladies. Thank you so much. Parting words from everybody. I think we've taken up so much of everybody's time, but I'm grateful that people stuck around. So please share your parting words and let people know where they can find you on social media. Dr. B, as there's a Lebu Dlamini, for example, if I'm not mistaken, yes, that wants to know more about how to fix their acne situation. So please do share. And let's start with you, Leslie. Where can people find you? Should they want to get live coaching? Should they want to just inquire or chat a bit more? Where are you available?
Yes, I'm very active on Facebook. I'm under Leslie Dalton Nishehe. Also on Instagram, I'm pretty active. Also Leslie Dalton Nishehe. And Twitter, I'm on there, but not so active. The best place to catch me is Facebook. Hey, I'm on Messenger too.
Okay.
If people want to message me privately.
Okay. And then do you do virtual life coaching sessions?
Yes,
How
yes.
can people access that part of you? Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you,
But thank
Leslie.
you
You know,
for this.
you're very loved by me. You know that. I
Thank
know
you
I'm
for
very
the
weird in showing it because I just keep quiet. That's me. But you know, I value you very much just as a person.
No, same here, my dear. We've been through a lot together.
Adele, that is true. That is very true. Thank you so much again for your time, Liz. Thank you. Please thank the
Thank
girls for allowing you so much time away from them. Thank you so
you.
much. Bahumi,
Uh,
you have a function to prep for and a face to beat and clothes to put together, and I've kept you for way too long. So any parting words from you?
Man, no, just thank you so much for this, honestly. I love you guys so much. And yeah, that's literally just it. Like, I love you guys, and heal, damn it. And then on socials, you can I'm most so active on Instagram more than anything. But so Instagram, it's Bahumi 777, Facebook Bahumi 777, and then Twitter Bahumi_M. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I will see you in just under 2 hours. I love you. It is your fault, by the way, that I'm looking so freaking amazing because pressure. It's all your fault.
I'm so
All
excited
the
to see you.
fault.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to see you. It's gonna be a jump. Okay, cool.
Thank you. I actually haven't seen you since my birthday. So yeah, we must fix that. And before I actually forget, there's an Ayanda that did my face. She allowed me to wake her up at 8, pitched up at her house. I'd never met her before, by the way, guys. This was her seed that she was planting to the session. Thank you so much. I mean, this is such a fantastic job. Cat eyes, I learned there's something called primer, something that she put on my face, and she did my brows. Guys, I still don't own makeup. Bahumi tried to fix this last year. I didn't work out so well, but we'll get there. Thank you so much. Dr. B, parting words.
Not much, but thank you so much for the session. I learned a lot. And I'm sorry I couldn't say what I wanted to say properly because of time, but I hope people got my message and the message, and thank you for, making it more clearer. Just thank you so much. I really enjoyed the session, and God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. B. You know, you are highly, highly appreciated. I know you're very, very, very busy, and I did give you some flack for it, I know. I do get a bit catty when I'm trying to put something together, but everyone just be strong in the Lord. I just want to appreciate those that are still with us. Thank you for those that had to fall off. Thank you to the ladies that were on board. Thank you, Leanne Hendry in absentia. Thank you so much to Litale Tumchabe. You know, I really do value ladies so much. We have some really big YouTubers on here. There is Vulo Vlogs. I just want to put up one of her comments just so you see the spelling. Please do find her and follow her. She has really, really fantastic content. Thank you, Vuyelwa, for tuning in. You know, I always feel very humbled when someone I'm looking up to in their field comes in and spends their time with me as well. There's a Nelly Lamini. Nelly, I'm trying to find one of your comments. I remember the spelling of your surname is very different, but if you can find her too, she's got lovely Christian content. But guys, thank you again. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Bahumi. Thank you, Bongiwe. You've been such a fantastic blessing. And guys, this is the type of content that I share Mondays, Fridays. There's going to be other days that I'm adding in because I'm adding new content this month. So please subscribe. Please tell your friends. It's what I need, huh? Me now. Me. Isn't it? It was all about you. Now it's about me. So please, I do humbly ask, please, that you please just subscribe and share the content. I'm going to try and work this technology that I've never used before and download this clip, and I'll share with everyone, and I'll put it up on the channel for those that weren't able to participate. Ladies, I love you so much. Have a blessed women's lifetime. It's not about a day. It's not about a month. Let your lives just be so evident of the God that you each carry, that God that you cry out to at night, the God that loves you ever so dearly. That is why you are surviving and you are still alive to this day, because it really is a blessing to still be alive. You know, but thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Bahumi, mwah, Leslie, mwah, Bongiwe, mwah. We will chat as the week continues. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. And we're
Bye,
gone.
everyone.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.